Guild recruiting. It sucks. It's really not that fun. It's very, very hard to do. I'm doing it right now. I got 25 people on the first day, but that's because I have a YouTube channel and people I've been raiding with for years that have a lot of certainty about what they're going to get if they were to play with me. You probably don't have the YouTube channel. Maybe you have the history with other people, and that'll help you get some members. But I don't want to talk about that stuff because it's not actually applicable for trying to get yourself more members. I just want to talk about like what kind of things should you be thinking about if you want to recruit for your guild. And by your guild, I mean a guild you have a ton of control over. Because if you're just like some officer that does the recruiting and you're not the GM or the raid leader or like the main tank or somebody who can make decisions about like the loot or how the raid groups ran, then your ability to recruit is greatly diminished because it's hard to make your group differentiated from the competition. Now, I'm going to talk about the group that I raided with on Classic Era and how they differentiated themselves from the competition. By the way, if you're looking for a raid group on Saturday, hit me up. And if you're looking for a raid group on Friday or Sunday, also hit me up, but I'll be trying to hook you up with my friends over at Peaks. It's the name of the guild that they ran on Era. And this is what they did to make them stand out. They had fucking fire MC and BWL runs, even though like Nax is out and shit. They just had super sick ones. You could show up, and if you had world buffs and consumes, and you hit your fucking buttons right, you're just guaranteed to get 99s. Like 99s all over the place. And you can't get that experience anywhere else on Classic Era hardly, because almost everyone who's running it is either progressing in MC and BWL if they're a very new guild, in which case you're not parsing, bro. Or it's like some GDKP where everybody's just there for money and the main tank's not using their fucking boons, which means, if you don't know what that means, it means they're not buffed, all right? And so you ain't fucking parsing. This, when I was thinking about who I wanted to play with, and I thought about my experience playing with these guys in Peaks, knowing that every week on Sunday, in this case, I'd get to go to MC and fucking wreck. Like, just absolutely smoke shit, even though, like, I'm in AQ gear, and it's, like, not all that serious. That was killer. That made it unique to me. Or there's, I mean, you might know about Costanza. I'd say his guild, Costanza's guild, is fucking differentiated. If you want to play with a bunch of schizophrenics and just destroy everybody in world PvP, and you like playing Horde, there's probably not a better fucking guild in the entire world than, shit, what's their name? It's Wood Department, I think. They're crazy. You should have something like that about your guild that just makes it so that way it is highly, highly differentiated. You'll have a way easier time getting members. A lot of members will just come from referrals from current members, because when current members talk about your guild, it will actually sound cool. It'd be pretty hard, for example, to recruit for a guild that is raiding in Nax in Classic Era. Let's say the Fresh wasn't come out, because the Fresh makes that shit impossible. But if Fresh wasn't coming out and you were a guild/raid leader in a 15 out of 15 Nax run, and you just did Nax, like you took 2 days every week or 1 day every week, and it was like a 2.5 hour run, and you know, you're an average GDKP or LC or SR group or whatever, there's not that much that's really pulling someone to you, because you can get that anywhere. Even though it's hard to provide a team that clears Nax. Like, anyone who's ran a raid group before, it is fucking hard to, or at least it takes a lot of skills to run a raid group on even the easiest content. It really does. It's fucking difficult. And if you've ever ran a group that's gone 15 out of 15 in Nax, like, you're fucking pretty good at what you do, okay? Like, honestly, you're pretty good even if you do like goofy strats or something. It's fucking hard. It's so much easier to run a good MC or BWL. And yet, players like me will care a lot more about the good MC and BWL. And by me, I just mean players who are passionate about parsing in non-current content and just parsing in all the content. And that's something that you could make for yourself in your group. Or you could have stupid shit like maybe you play fucking party games together in your Discord. It can literally be anything. But if your guild doesn't have something that's highly unique, it will make it much harder for you to recruit people. But not impossible. I mean, most guilds are not actually unique. They are extremely average experience-wise, like as in your experience in the raid. So that would mean that people get average kill times, like average parses. You're not going to be doing super cool strats. most guilds have pretty average communities where there's like a couple cliques within the guild that are tight, but the average member is like just a raid logger and doesn't really have much of a true connection with any of their guildies. And these are all things that you can beat the competition on. You can make a guild starting with like you and your 5 friends and have it be really awesome if you and your 5 friends all agree that this group being successful and people getting along in this group matters more than anything else. And then people would just join your guild and they would easily be able to make friends, that is a differentiating thing. Most guilds, it is not easy to integrate socially. The people running the guild are a little fucking tired of trying to help get people to integrate. And then random people in the guild probably already feel like they have their people. They're not necessarily like extending the olive branch or whatever, trying to get everybody to feel at home. There's a lot of shit you can do. And while you're doing it, you should also try to keep in mind what you've done in the past and just how it's working. So like, for example, if you're spamming any messages in, I don't know, World Chat, LFG, whatever else, you should test your fucking messages, dude, okay? You should have different Discord links that are with different messages, and so that way you know for fucking certain what messages get the best. Here's the thing that, if you're a Horde player, here's a little tip as somebody who's made a GDKP server before and gotten like hundreds of people to join it. If you can pick to post your guild's recruitment thing in Yell and Ogrimmar, just in Ogrimmar, you yell in Ogrimmar, or you put the same message in a global chat channel like World Chat, LFG, which one would do better? The Yell. The Yell smokes the global channel. Even though the Yell probably gets like a third or a fourth as many people who can literally have it be on their screen, I guess because the text is red, it just gets a lot more engagement, because the links I had for my Discord that were associated with the Yell beat the ones that weren't. And another thing is the links I had for my Discord that were associated with having a marker, like a raid marker, they got a lot more hits. They got a lot more member joins than the ones that didn't use raid markers. And the messages that were short and sweet and just simply said, GDKP, this raid time, this much percentages worth of bonuses available, Discord link. Keeping it short and fucking sweet also greatly charged up the rate of getting people to join. So if you're spamming to get people to join, do /Y also, okay? Test your messages, use multiple Discord links, so that way you get data, you get definitive proof which shit works better. And over time, like, it's quite likely that if you've never split tested anything at all, you just made a macro and you hit it, you could probably triple, quadruple, like 5x the amount of people you get per unit time, because probably the things that you guessed at being good suck. And they don't suck because you suck. They suck because you can't read people's fucking minds, and it's impossible not to suck at stuff like that without testing it. So yeah, good luck making your guilds. If you instead want to join a guild, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday raid times. NA Alliance, we're going to be super try hard, but no fucking world bosses because it's a waste of time, and no splits because I want to try hard every single fucking raid. But yeah, hit me up. I don't care how experienced you are. You just got to have a good attitude and be willing to get really good.